Welcome to the Single H Show presents Transparenting. My name is Michael Davis, and I am going to do a time-honored tradition that has normally been done on our Parts of Unknown podcast. We kind of have this thing that we do where we record a conversation before we've done an event, kind of talking about how we expect it's going to be and and what we think's going to happen. It's something that we may have not done before, and we kind of share our perspective before. And then the next week's episode is what actually happened when we did, and we compare and contrast the expectations to the experience. I want to record this podcast today because I am doing something, maybe not so much that I have not done before, but I am doing something today that brings with it an immense amount of expectation, and I'm excited for it. So I want to wrestle through my expectations with you today, and then next week's episode, we will process what actually happened. Today is what we have affectionately called at Transcended Media the DWO Joe Mills Birthday Bash in Temecula, California. And I am quite excited today. Now, people outside of Transcended Towers, they don't know our inside language. They don't know our cool nicknames for each other. But today is the DWO Joe Mills Birthday Bash, and what is happening is the rest of the world knows this as Together in Temecula, Together in the Streets, and we are allying today. We are standing on the street corner at Rancho California and Yancey Road, the Duck Pond. And we are going to show some allyship to our LGBTQIA plus siblings and just show some loves. Temecula, California, unfortunately, is one of the red pocket areas within our blue state. And it's also the place where I am blessed to have my new worship center. I have really wanted to be active in a place of allyship, in a place that was thirsty for allyship and was willing to receive it. And I have been quite active in my almost year of serving in Temecula, California at Temecula United Methodist Church at Margarita Road. And while I've been there, and this is where the conversation comes, I have been on the street corner a few times there at Yancey and Rancho California, and I've stood there sometimes with fellow church members. There's multiple times that I've stood down there by myself, and you all have seen the responses on our Transcended Media Instagram page of, hey, it's really good to see a different voice than the red pocket voices that usually has control of the narrative in this area. I need to explain to everybody how this is going to be different. This time I did some work. I've made some relationships. I made some connections, and one of those connections is a person that knows how to reach out to media. And today I know for certain I will not be standing on the street corner alone. I know that for certain. But there is a potential of this being a thing. The Together in the Streets could have a pretty big attendance today. I have so far noticed information about this event on 6 different progressive sites that reach out to the Temecula area. Our church is aware of it. Our worship center is aware of it. The Temecula Valley Pride Center is aware of it and is co-sponsor of this event today. And we're going together in the streets to be allies. I went and stood on the street corner a few weeks ago, and today, for everybody to know, I am recording this as I drive to the event, and today, March 1st, is my 50th birthday. And I had this vision of, wow, how cool would it be to celebrate turning a half century old? How cool would it be to spend that day allying, being a good brother for our LGBTQIA plus siblings? And that became my birthday present to myself. This is what I was going to do today. And I decided if I was going to do this, I might as well have made it known. Now, we have a group that exists within the walls of our worship center, and it's called Amplify. And Amplify it's not a Bible study, although that we do use at times Scripture to process things. We do at times use Scripture in such a way to wrestle with realities. Many times we take what's known as the hammer verses. It's the verses that evangelical conservative churches use against our LGBTQIA plus community, and we rip them apart. We exegete them to the source of their contextual language. We rip them down to the point of their significance within the time period that they were written, and many times as we rip apart, dissect things all the way down to the time period, we actually begin to see that this Scripture is not actually saying what people say it says. And we begin to see the true heart of the narrative. So I made Amplify aware. I made Temecula Valley Pride aware. There is a wonderful, wonderful group that meets in Temecula Valley called Emily's Space. And Emily's Space is a safe gathering for our LGBTQIA plus teens, so that they have a place and a voice for conversation. I have been to multiple school board meetings in Temecula Valley, and the high schools in Temecula are not a safe place for our LGBT plus teens. And Emily Space produces that place for them. I've seen it in Pride Hemet. There's just all these places. There's a progressive parents site that has picked it up. And with all of these different sites picking it up, there was 3 newspapers that covered an article that was done by the social media director of Temecula Valley Pride that mentions this event today. And it's amazing. It's absolutely amazing, the potential of what could happen. We could have all 4 corners of the street flooded with people, or it could just be there standing by myself. But either way, no matter the turnout or the response, either way, some siblings in the Temecula Valley are going to see that there are individuals who care for them and love them within the wholeness of their own identities, and know that someone loves them, even if it's just a freshly new 50-year-old standing on the street corner alone. So if I do this in the fashion of what we have done in Parts of Unknown, I'm going to share with you what I see the potential of today is. And then we'll come back next week and share what actually happened. Here's the potential of what I have seen from today. For today. If every group has 10 people show up, and this is the groups that I'm aware that have shared this event on their social media, we'll have the potential of having 50 siblings together holding signs that advocate affirmation, affirming love for our siblings. On our Threads account, there was a good sibling that wrote out that is an artist that wanted to make signs or bring signs or make signs there for individuals that needed a sign to hold. And that's awesome. We have the potential of showing that not that there's more than one entity in a red pocket that cares for these dear siblings. For those of you that don't live in this area, I've gotten to the point that I'm not pulling punches. I'm going to name names and everything. There is a mega church here, a highly conservative mega church, that apparently visibly has its fingers everywhere in the Temecula Valley. And I've immediately decided not to share their name. But there is a mega church that has their fingers everywhere in the Temecula Valley. They're referenced at school board meetings, town hall events, that it's visible. And they are of the theology that homosexuality is a sin, reproductive rights are in the eyes of God, and so forth. And very, very harmful language share they have. Well, let me not pass credit where I don't know that it's due. But there's also another individual who also stands on street corners on their own, and they share very harmful language, especially towards our transgender siblings, about what is harmful to bodies is not a good thing, and it's terrible. They are fighting against marriage rights for all couples. It's disheartening. It hurts to drive up and down the streets. And today, it's going to be more than one person standing with his two flags and his sign. I know at the absolute very least, I won't be there alone. But within all of this, there also holds the potential that, man, we could make a very big impact today. I've built some relationships within the community, and one of those relationships that I've built is with the Temecula Valley Pride Center. And I decided to make them aware of, hey, this is going to be happening on March 1st. And I didn't share with them, which so happens to be my birthday. I didn't share that part, but hey, we're going to do this. And I was asked if I wanted it shared. And my response back is, I absolutely do, but I also want to avoid the counter protest. So I said, let's do it. Let's share it. Let's get loud. Well, brother, it was shared. And as I shared with you a few moments ago, different newspapers, there's multiple different progressive groups in Temecula and Riverside areas that have shared this information today. And my God, the potential. I mean, again, just if 10 people show up from each group, that's 50 people. And can you imagine the impact of some of our LGBTQIA plus siblings of seeing 50 people holding signs and banners saying that they're loved? That's my envisioning for the day. That's my hope for today. And I hope that we meet our hope. But I'm very excited to meet with you again next week to talk through what actually happened. And so that's actually where I'm going to stop this today. This will be a short episode of Transparency. And it's our preview of the Transcendent Media Joe Mills birthday bash in Temecula, California. And look for pictures. You'll probably see the pictures on our Instagram page way before that this podcast comes out, but go on our Instagram page, look at the pictures, and then join us next week to hear what what really happened. Thank you for listening today. My name is Joseph Mills. Everybody have a blessed week.